Have you heard of or used ChatGPT?
Oh, my goodness.
Have you? Because I can ask it a question here.
Yes.
What is Peter Kreeft's... Hang on, they're going to ruin that word. Peter Kreeft's favorite breakfast. Let's see if it knows. Could you imagine if it did?
It knows everything.
Peter Kreeft has not publicly stated a favorite breakfast in any of his writings or talks. However, Kreeft often discusses philosophy. Yeah, whatever. Here, now announce your favorite breakfast cereal and we'll ask it again. He likes bacon. He told me himself. Now it's saying memory updating and the demons are working. That's great to know. Bacon seems fitting for someone like Peter Kreeft. Simple yet classic. Who the hell do you think you are?
It's like a fortune
What
cookie.
is Peter Kreeft's... I'm going to ask it one more time. Favorite breakfast. Peter Kreeft's favorite breakfast includes bacon. As he personally told you. All right.
It even knows who you are.
It's nuts.
I think chatbots will destroy the humanities. It can now write our essays. It can write our books. It can write our poems.
Are you experiencing that in class when people...
Yes.
Like
and
this person couldn't write a week ago. Now that...
We just had a message from the administration at Boston College, a very reasonable message, saying you have to set policies for the limitation of artificial intelligence. And it's going to be different in different departments, different in the humanities, different in the sciences. And my previous policy was if I suspected that this was written by a robot, and I think I have a pretty good intuitive grasp about how robots work, at least how robots work in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You see a pattern, and the pattern is too perfect for a student, and there are no weaknesses and no mistakes. Although students sometimes deliberately misspell words to make you think that they're not. Anyway, I think I'm pretty good at
has that happened yet?
intuiting the patterns. That's happened about half a dozen times in the last few years. And every time I say to the student, I think that this is not your work. I think you plagiarized not from another human being, but from a machine. And if I can prove it, I will report you to the administration and you will be guilty of plagiarism and this will go on your record. And if I cannot prove it, you get an A on this. Because even though you're a C student, you've written an A paper, which I doubt very much. Every single time they folded and they said, yes, I confess, it was a chatbot.
And did you say to them, if you admit you won't report them? Is that part of the deal?
That's right. I'll give them no credit whatsoever for the paper, but I didn't report them, yeah. Now, they're so sophisticated now that I probably wouldn't be able to get away with that anymore.
Yeah. What does that do to us?
It forces us into a defensive posture. If you're a good teacher in the humanities, you simply forbid the use of these devices, and you design your essays and tests and final exams in ways that you think
maybe
the bot
oral
cannot imitate.
tests, having them stand up and you ask them questions. It seems more human than writing anyway.
That was the way it used to be for hundreds of years.
But how long is it going to be until they plant something in our brainstem that can help us pull up information in the way our phone can?
You have to let them do that.
Yeah.
You have to want it.
Well, enough people will want it, and it will happen.
You have to use your free will to sell yourself into slavery.
But my point is, when maybe you won't do it, and maybe I won't do it, but there will be people who'll do it. And then how will you know as you're asking them questions? And we'll just give over our brain entirely. There's no point for thinking and no need.
Yeah.
And at that point, what does apologetics and argumentation even look like?
Nothing.
What's the point of it?
No point.
No one's arguing, actually.
No point.
It's just two computers.
Well, I think that destruction of a human soul would be similar to the destruction of death, the conquest of death by genetic engineering. They're working on that too, especially the transhumanists in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And I think that if that succeeded and was available to the whole world, I think that would provoke the second coming and the end of the world. because that would produce hell on earth if everybody was in it.
If one of these Silicon Valley fellas came to you and it turned out that science had advanced more than we had realized and said, I can give you another 50 years, you'd be in the exact cognitive and physical state that you're currently in, what would you say?
No, thank you. I've got arthritis. No, God deliberately humiliates us because we need humility. So that's what old age does. You know, the golden years are the world's biggest scam.
Men, have you checked out Exodus 90 lately? If you've heard of Exodus 90 before, you're probably thinking cold showers and Lent, but the Exodus 90 app offers so much more. It's the #1 freedom app to help you become the man you were created to be. I've been following along with the app's daily scriptures, reflections, and disciplines, and it's really awesome. Download the Exodus 90 app today to join St. Michael's Lent, happening now leading up to the Feast of St. Michael the Archangel on September 29th. St. Michael's Lent is an ancient tradition of prayer and fasting popularized by St. Francis in the Middle Ages that's been lost in our time. Let's bring it back. Join the men of Exodus 90 and Father Carlos Martins, exorcist and host of the Exorcist Files, who is the spiritual guide for St. Michael's Lent this year on the Exodus 90 app. We will awaken to invisible realities and enter into that spiritual battle that rages around us. Go to exodus90.com/Matt to join us for St. Michael's Lent. That's exodus90.com/Matt to join us for St. Michael's Lent, happening now on the Exodus 90 app. It's not too late to join.